Hi, everybody. This is Mr. Michael. You know what we're here for. It's story time with Mr. Michael. And you know I love reading. One of the things I like best about reading is that it's a chance to learn new things. Well, one of the things you need to learn is how to say words the way they're supposed to be said. That's going to come up today because of our book. Now, before we start, I want to say a big, huge thank you to the person who special requested this book. Kiernan, thank you. Thank you for requesting this book. Thank you for being a part of Storytime. Thank you for watching. Thank you for loving books. Thank you for staying curious. We're going to be reading Possum Come, a-Knockin by Nancy Van Laan and illustrated by George Booth. Now, here's the thing I want to talk about first. So this word, possum. Now, that's a little woodland animal. This one has a green hat and an orange vest on. But normally when we see this word, there's an O in front of it. And some people say possum. Some people say opossum. And I'll be honest, I don't know what the right way to say it is. So we're going to all discover together. And how do we learn how you're supposed to say words? Well, we go to our bookshelves and we grab our dictionaries and we look them up inside. So if you don't have a dictionary, ask your mom and dad to get one or ask them where it is. They're the coolest things. So we're gonna go, they're also like set up with the little, like you can see where you're looking at. So we're going to the O's, we're going to O-P, there's orange wood optical bench, opine, optical art. So it's gonna be probably somewhere around here. Okay, here it is. Oh, there's a picture of one. Okay, so it's spelled with an O. That's the official spelling is with an O, O-P-O-S-S-U-M. And, oh, guys, it's pronounced opossum. It's pronounced opossum. Everybody's wrong. It's not possum, nor is it opossum. It's opossum. So that's the right way to say the word, and we know it because of our dictionaries. So we can finally get to reading the actual book. Possum Come, a-Knockin. Now I'm going to say possum because that's how it's written. So the writer clearly wants us to say it that way. But we all know better now. It's a possum. Let's find out what happens inside Possum Come, a-Knockin. Possum Come, a-Knockin by Nancy Van Laan, illustrated by George Booth. Possum come a-knockin at the door, at the door. Possum come a-knockin at the door. Granny was a-sittin' and a-rockin' and a-knittin' when a possum come a-knockin at the door. Ma was busy cooking in the kitchen making taters when a possum come a-knockin at the door. Pa was busy fixin' and a-bangin' and a-poundin' when a possum come a-knockin at the door. Pappy was a-whittlin' making play toys for the baby when a possum come a-knockin at the door. Sis was tossin' baby when a pappy was a-whittlin' while a possum come a-knockin at the door. Brother was untangling all the twiny fish for fishing, and the sis was tossin' baby, and the pappy was a-whittlin'. And Pa was busy fixin', and Ma was busy cooking, and Granny was a-knittin' when a possum come a-knockin at the door. Coondog was a-twitchin' and a-scratchin' in the corner when a possum come a-knockin at the door. Look at that cat. Look at that cat. Tomcat started sniffing and a spitting and a hissing when a possum come. Let's try that again. This is a mouthful, y'all. Okay. Tomcat started sniffing and a spitting and a hissing when a possum come a-knockin' at the door. Yes. What's that? Sis says. Don't know. Brother says. What's that? Pappy says. Don't know. Granny says. But the cat, said she. That catter ought to go. Then, dog started sniffing and a pawing and a growling while the cow tail a twitching was a hissing and a howling. Making Granny stop a knitting and Pappy stop a whittling and Baby start a fussing and Sis and Brother started cussing 'cause a little old possum was a-knocking at the door. This possum is causing a ruckus. A ruckus, I tell you. What's that? Granny says. Don't know. Pappy says. What's that? Ma says. Don't know. Pa says. Then I creepy across the floor and peeked under the door. It's a possum come a-knockin' on the door, I said. It's a possum come a-knockin' on the door. Then Brother came a-leapin', Sis came a-runnin', and Baby came a-crawlin', and Dog started howlin', and Pappy was a-chucklin', and Granny's eyes was twinklin' as Ma followed Papa to the door. Now hush, Pa said. Now hush, Ma said, and slowly Pa opened up the door. Now y'all stop your hollering and your fissin' and your cussin' 'cause there's nothing that's knocking at the door. He went behind the tree. No possum, Pappy said. No possum, Pa said. No possum, Granny said. No possum, Ma said. Then we all started doing like before. He's coming back. Granny was a-sittin' while Papa was a-whittlin', Ma was a-cookin', and Pa was a-fixin'. Do you think he's gonna come back? Brother was entangling while Sis was tossing Baby. Coondog was a-scratching while Tomcat was a-licking. He's still behind the tree. And I was just a-sitting and a-looking out the window when I saw what I saw scoot up the old oak tree. Possum was a-scooting and a-scrambling and a-dangling. That possum was a-knocking, made a fool out of me. The end. Okay. This one almost beat me, didn't it? This one got me. Guys, this is the biggest, craziest mouthful of words I've ever read on Storytime with Mr. Michael. But we did it, everybody. We did it. We read Possum Come a-Knockin'. That was a lot of people in that story. There were a lot of things going on. And boy, what a weird little possum. Huh? I mean, what a weird little opossum. It sounds like epoxy, which is a kind of glue, or a pattern, which is pattern. That's two words. But a possum. So we know three things for sure. we know how to correctly say a possum. We know that that Possum Come, a-Knockin is one of the wilder, weirder, most difficult to read out loud books we've ever come across. And we know that Kiernan, while a great fan of wonderful books, she'll come and get you. She's out to get you. So thank you, Kiernan. But we did it. I did it. I mean, I messed up pretty hard that one time, but we went back and read it anyway. Thank you, Kiernan. This was about as much fun as I've ever had doing Storytime with Mr. Michael. So thank you, Kiernan. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of it. Boy, what a crazy thing. Don't forget, not only can you read Possum Come, a-Knockin, you can also read the dictionary. These are great books. They're important books. Everybody should have a dictionary. I know, we've all got phones, but dictionaries are books filled with words. And I love books, and I love words, and this book literally has all the words. So, read Possum Come, a-Knockin and read the dictionary. Both will make you smarter. And that's what I love about books, is a chance to get smarter. Thank you. Keep reading, everybody. Stay curious. I'll see you next time on Storytime with Mr. Michael. All right? Bye.